Here in Jerome, an older gentleman. I'm going to go inside and introduce. He's an artist who's lived here in Jerome for over 50 years, and he's had an interesting art life and met a lot of different kind of people here in Jerome. We're going to go inside and meet this gentleman. Well, you can see Don Welch in front of me now. I came into his house. He's a nice gentleman this morning that I met here in Jerome, and he has a really interesting story because he was actually born in this home here in Jerome. He had an interesting history of the family history and also being an artist here around Don. So Don, you had mentioned that you were actually born in that back bedroom back there. And what year was that?
1930.
1930.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so you were actually raised here as a kid?
Yes, I spent a good part of my childhood here.
So it must have been pretty busy back then. It was still going as a mine, wasn't it?
The mines were going when I was born, but then shortly thereafter they did close for a while because of the Depression.
Uh-huh.
And then they reopened again later.
Oh, okay.
And, my grandfather, William Reese, was a friend of Mr. Douglas, who had developed the mine.
Very interesting, yeah, because did you work in the mine at all?
No, I was too young to work in the mine.
Yeah.
But my first real job in life was that of a soda jerk.
Oh, did you really?
in
Soda jerk? Okay. Yeah, I did that also myself. I wish I'd have been the soda jerk who invented Dr. Pepper. He was the soda jerk too. He invented Dr. Pepper. So did you actually went to school here and everything?
I went to kindergarten here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first and second grade, and then we moved to San Diego area because my father was hired by the Reese Staley Clinic to do a medical job over there.
Oh, really? So you went to Phoenix too, huh?
In San Diego.
San Diego?
California.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you were one of those residents who lived here in Sedona, but also who was born here in Arizona. Seen Arizona change quite a bit, or get really big, because 1930 you were born in Arizona. Just became a state in 1912, so it wasn't too far off that you were born. It became a state, so you really see Arizona grow and become a big state.
Yes, yes, indeed, and one very interesting aspect of my life was that my uncle Kent Reese and his partner Harry Amster had a very good automobile career here in Jerome, with automobiles buying and selling and repairing and so on.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
That was called Reese and Amster, and their name is still in big letters down on the building near the post office.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. So, did you actually you didn't graduate out of here, did you?
No, we moved back to Jerome, and I spent 1 year as a freshman here.
Oh.
And they had a very fine faculty, and I still have friends that I knew then.
Uh-huh.
And then my dad thought it best that I go over to California to a Catholic boarding school in Ojai, California, called Villanova.
Well, you had mentioned off camera, that's where you met John Gavin, the actor, in Ojai.
That's where I met John Gavin,
Oh, so you were close friends with him then, all your life?
I have been all my life.
Yeah. I liked his acting. He was a lot of great movies, John Gavin, you know.
Well, he's not only a good actor, he's a very brilliant man, really.
Really? You know. So you still keep in contact with him once in a while, huh?
Yes.
You had mentioned on camera, if you had the opportunity, you would still go back to Hollywood. You loved Hollywood, huh?
I like Hollywood very much.
Yeah.
I like the entire Los Angeles very much.
You know, you kind of remind me in a way of, you could be maybe not much older, George Hamilton. You had that look of a George Hamilton, older George Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
He was a pretty well-known actor too. So you got into art in your elderly years or younger years?
Well, I came back here in let's say, well, I'm forgetting the exact year, but it was just here for a couple of weeks, and I met some artists.
Yeah.
And principally Roger Holt and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and became active in an organization called the Verde Valley Artists.
Oh yeah.
And
I've
I
heard of that.
was president for several years, and attended conferences in other cities called the Western Association of Art Museums in 5 different cities.
Oh really?
Now, unfortunately, that organization does not exist any longer, but it was very rewarding.
Yeah, I can imagine it was rewarding. And you know, I'm going to shoot some of your art up here. It's kind of interesting. Up here, you're using cereal boxes for some of your art, which is kind of interesting and different. Use them like
I think it's something that young people should be encouraged to do.
It's like a canvas, huh?
Uh,
Yeah, that is a neat idea if you think about it, because you could set them any place and use that, and all those boxes they throw away could save some. But you have some other art also, huh?
well, those 2 large paintings that I had shown you in the living room.
In the back there, you know.
I don't think there's anything in here other than that.
So as a career, what kind of career did you have? What did you into mostly?
Well, I was a lieutenant in the Army for 2 years.
Oh, really? Oh,
I
interesting.
served in Korea for 11 months after the truce.
Oh, really?
I was waiting to go to Korea when they signed the truce. So when I got there, the war was over.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to, I worked for the Ford division of the Ford Motor Company in San Jose, California.
What did you?
I worked for an advertising firm called Irwin Wasey, Ruth Roth and Ryan in Los Angeles for 3 years.
Very interesting.
I then moved up to San Francisco and worked for a smaller agency called Honig, Cooper and Harrington.
So you've been a busy man, huh?
And then I came here to look at this property for my father and stayed.
So do you own this building?
The building belongs to my family.
To your family? Oh, nice. That's great. So you've been here. Let's take a little walk through and show the people your place here. And you can show some of the art in the back here.
Right.
You have all kinds of stuff in here. It's pretty interesting. But
I served as the mayor of vice mayor of Jerome.
you were the mayor here also.
No, not the mayor, vice mayor.
The vice mayor. Okay, the vice mayor. What year was that?
66 to 68, 1966 to 1968.
Okay, let's go back here and check a little bit and see what happens here. I'll just follow you kind of here.